Okay, that should do it. Right? Are you receiving me? Okay. That should do it. There we go. Right? All right. Are you receiving me? Okay. Sorry about that. Trying to do some new stuff with the stream, having stuff like whatever. I'm just trying to get fancy with things. An iterative process of improvement. What do we need here? We need a chat window so I can actually see what you're saying. So I'm on one screen. I'm going to have to be alt-tabbing back and forth at least for the next few minutes. The reason for that is extremely domestic. So, oh, yeah. Glad you like the tune. Yeah, I recorded that shit years ago. The intent with that was actually was wanting that to be the menu music for the Harrier, and I sent it to the Razbam guys, and I was like, "Hey, you guys deserve a tune? Like, is this cool? Just use it. I don't really care to get paid for it." And I never heard back from them. I probably did not send it to the right folks. And then I did another one for the F-16E. It's not quite done yet. It's called Mudhen, and it's better than the one you just heard. I'm kind of proud of that one. Let's see. There's got to be a way I can monitor chat on my phone or something here. So this mission, 8 out of 10, is it's a SEAD mission, but it's not like go here and blow up this SAM site. It's go here and respond to any emergent threats. Yeah, it's funny, if they liked it, I bet their lawyers were like, no. They're like, yeah, no. But I'm like, no, seriously, I just want to get my music out there, and like, I don't know. I just never heard back from them. So it's just as well. And it's kind of like, if you listen to the mix, it really needs a mixing and mastering is like its own science, and it's not one I'm good at. So like I think the song's good. It's not quite mastered, or mixed quite right. I can't quite dial that in. I want to play the song I wrote for the F-15. That one's actually a little more. It hits a little harder. I like it probably a little more, but I haven't quite finished it. Needs more guitar layers. And then I've got a bunch of other stuff, which is more like ambient. I need to make more music. Yeah, no, I need to finish songs. I've started about 20 and completed maybe 5. And of those, only one of them is more like what I would consider, something I'd want to do more of. The rest is all just me messing with cassette tapes and making creepy sounds and haunting shit with it. It's not really what I would call music. It's more just ambient analog tape creepiness. And some synthesizer stuff. Did something similar for Counter-Strike when it was Half-Life, or with the menu game. They couldn't figure out how to make it. Yeah, seems about right. And it's not a great time for artists of any kind, from the looks of things. Whether you're a musician, visual artist, somebody who can't alt-tab back into his application to save his own life. Where's DCS go? What the? Stand by, technical difficulties. You commission human artists. That's doing the Lord's work, man. Yeah, it's kind of. Damn it! What's the flashlight control? Sorry, I'm doing 8 things at once. Can't really do any of them very well. I'll be locked in just 1 second here. Left Alt L. I thought that's what I hit. There we go. Oh my god. Ah! You have absolute power. Oh, okay, there we go. Ow! Ow! If you heard that thump, that was my elbow on something. I think some floodlights may be in order here. Do we not have those? The electric jet is missing floodlights? Surely. Surely I'm wrong. Ugh. That instrument panel one seems to be it. Okay, well, I guess that's what we get. Alright. Working with it. So how's it going, everybody? Thanks for tuning in again. All good, I hope. What are we carrying? A couple of arms, I think. Yeah, that's it. All right. Upgraded 3D printer filament. Filament changer stack. Oh, so you're doing like multiple multiple things in one thing, so you can change filaments like mid-print. That's pretty metal. Let's see what we need here. do it. For air to air, what are we going to load up here? Just we put the pod on that.
Dodge 1, airborne.
Set that to air to air. For air to ground mode, we're going to put the pod on air to ground, of course. TV. White hot. Okay, I think we're set to go. Yeah, right on time. Okay, let's do it. So I'll probably be pausing this periodically to check the chat. I'm only on one screen for now. The reason for that, you know what? Never mind.
Rolling.
You know what I should probably do is bust out my laptop and set it up next to this, and that way I can glance over. That's what a real human would do, which is probably why I have such a hard time with it. Shift H. Yeah, let's go with that for now. Pretty dark out. I am not used to this. Wow, this is something different. Last night mission was actually pretty bright. I think it had a full moon or something. This is like black as coal. So what did you end up doing anything with that song you sent for Counter-Strike? Like, did it end up anywhere? Still sitting on it for some underfunded indie game, perhaps? Is that a taxiway or? I think that's where we're supposed to go. Damn, this is a amateur moment. Yeah, that's the runway. Okay.
Tusk 1, airborne.
Airspeed up. Am I on F-16? Yes, I am. Okay, great. So my little peripheral doodad is going to work. Let's shut this thing off. Oh! I foresee a ground collision in my future. Just throwing that out there. No, it didn't go anywhere. The problem is the original Half-Life executable had no hook and play non-CD audio. Oh, wow! CD audio. I remember that shit. And, of course, the mod of the music is a WAV file. Damn, yeah. Yeah, you know, it's kind of shit out lately for so many reasons, but I saw somebody tweeted or X'd or whatever you call it now. Something like, I wanted AI and robots to take over all the menial tasks so that I could be, you know, pursue my creative endeavors, not the other way around. so this mission's a little different. And I am not a good IFR guy. Also, I misspoke a couple episodes ago. I was talking about the new sport pilot regs. It's not 81 knots. I think it's like 58. I don't know where I get 81 from. It is better. There may be some other medical concerns with it, but if you want to fly at night, for example, you need basic meds, so you may need to actually get a doctor to look at you. But I do not think you need an AME to check you out. You can just go see your actual doctor and then sign things, agreeing that, like, if you are aware of anything that could disqualify you, that you don't fly. But the real big deal is the weight and speed restrictions on light sport aircraft. I think light sport aircraft isn't even a thing legally anymore. It's just you have a sport pilot's license. You can fly anything with a stall speed below, I think, 58 miles per hour, which includes a ton of high performance shit. It can have like constant speed props, retractable gear. You just need the check in the box that says you can do that. So it's a good time. I'm probably going to let a lot more people fly, and hopefully, if all goes well within the year, I can take advantage of that myself and be an actual pilot for once instead of just a PC flight sim dude. But I'm not going to quit this. It's just too much fun, and you can just even if you have access to real aircraft, they still cost a good chunk of change, and you need good weather and all that other stuff. I can just start this up and sit down and kick it around whenever I feel like it. Like a random stream in the middle of the evening, right? Have you seen that meme where the legit real life robot in the grocery store messes with the machine vision, but then beeps to make a minimum wage human clean it up?
One, Nels departure. Well, contact Rockstar, UHF, channel 16.
This dystopia really sucks. It's not the one I wanted. It's not like the cool one with like skeleton robots and
Code 1, Dark Star, radar contact. Cleared Sally corridor via Dream. Shell tanker is available, UHF channel 14, TACAN 83 Yankee. Arco tanker available, UHF channel 15, TACAN 94 Yankee. Picture is available on request. Lowdown, South SA2 active, North SA15 active.
I'm guessing that 15 is probably going to be our target. We'll find out. Yeah, I'm like, when I was a kid, I thought like, there was going to be some kind of major cataclysm by the time I was this age. Thankfully, that hasn't happened yet, but instead we get this like low speed cataclysm that's like steadily ruining fucking everything piece by piece. And it's not like a cool, super intelligent, computer network that some DARPA project gone wrong, or like a super evil emperor, like Dr. Doom mastermind. I've said this before, but like the villains we're getting are so shit. I can't help but be insulted by them. And it's just like, well, misinformation and social media and lying politicians, etc. It's like, well, where's the, like, a nuclear holocaust would make so much more sense to me. Not that I would choose one, that or the other, but it's just like, this really? Aren't we better than this? No. Yeah, it's just icky. That went off the rails. Alright, sorry guys. Let's put the autopilot on so I can check my chat. Less Shadowrun than I hoped. Damn right! At least then you'd get like, yeah, things would get ripped apart, but at least you get like cool cyberware and magic and dangerous mythical creatures and shit to contend with. And cool new game systems to learn. Shadowrun. That was a cool, I assume it's still around. I assume people still play that. I think I still have a first edition rulebook somewhere. It's beat the shit. But it's cool to have. And talk about missed opportunities. That cross-platform Shadowrun first-person shooter. It was I think it was one of the first cross-platform games. It was on like 360, PS3, and PC players. And I think it was one of the first times you could, you know, they actually empirically proved that a mouse is better for FPS. Like the mouse players obviously just like dominated it. But while it was running, like it was a really highly regarded. You remember that, the Shadowrun game? It was pretty slick, if I remember correctly. But it was up for like 2 or 3 months, and then they shut the servers down because, you know, we can't have nice things. The most unrealistic things. If I had a drink, I would toast to that. Yeah, that's like it's like the most unrealistic thing about Star Trek. It's not the technology. It's not the warp drive or even the replicator. It's you see everybody getting along despite their differences and being stronger because of it. It's like, God damn it. Can we just do that? Can we just all agree to like ugh. Anyway. You didn't come here for this, but here we are. At least we got data link this mission. We got. That's got to be probably Dark Star. 30 miles. Yeah, if that's it. Actually, that's probably Dark Star out there. This has got to be a tanker, if I had to guess. Yeah, but you know, now that I think about it, though, most of the time, if you're doing Shadowrun stuff, you are fighting the corporations. But at least in any campaign I was playing, we were hired by another corporation. So it's not like you were fighting the good fight. It's just like you picked whoever paid you the most or whoever your character's alignment, you know, whatever the GM decided was happening that week. I guess you could go like, man, it's been a minute. So why can I remember this game system and not like what I got to do next week? I don't know. But it's like, what day is it right now? It's the 29th. It's Wednesday. It took me a minute. But I've got pretty much good recall on a game system I haven't touched since the late 90s. Because, you know, it's a sign of a healthy mind, right? Anyway, I'm trying to think of who the good guys might have been in Shadowrun. I mean, you're the Shadowrunners, right? So you're like, you're off the grid. You're not. At least you're not one of those guys. You're not a corpo. But who would have been the good guys? I think they were just factions that were less shitty than the others. It's been a minute. Who was it? Who was it? Was it Tir Nanog? So you got the Seattle area, right? And then south of them, like Oregon, North California, you had like that became like Elfie or something. And then there was the Ghost Dance. That was kind of like a justifiable fuck you to society gone wrong, I suppose. It's been a minute. Like the SNES one and the PC ones were late 2000s, early teens. Isometric view. And there was that PC game. There's the within the last 10 years. There's that. I think it was crowdfunded Shadowrun game. It's pretty good. No SAM threats yet. May as well arm up. Lights off, ECM on. Countermeasures on semi. Master laser. I think we're good to go. And what time is our push? 14:45? No, that's not right. C push 4:35. So we've got basically kind of like right on schedule here. That's from waypoint 6. Actually ahead of schedule. Okay. Only in DCS. See, that's the suspension of belief in DCS, is me being ahead of schedule. This will never happen in real life. So I've heard of cockpits being NVG compatible. It looks like the HUD might be, but the rest of it, if that's what compatible looks like, then the vision requirements for pilots seem to be quite irrelevant. Shit, even with my glasses off, it looks better than that. So we got another 10 minutes, it looks like. What do we got going on here? Looks like our fighter sweep right there. Really, as long as I can slot in behind these dudes, I think I'm good going ahead of schedule. As long as they're gonna go shoot those scary flankers. Damn, I wish I had a glass of wine right now. It's an appropriate spooky season Halloween mission. In Blackest Night. And there's the enemy cap. Wonder if I can turn the intensity down on that RD bar screen. I know there's got to be a dial for it somewhere. Yeah, maybe not. You know, I'm thinking ahead. If and when SAMs start flying my way. Heading for the deck using terrain masking at night like this is got to be a whole other thing. Alright, where's that pre-push? There we go.
Star, pre-push briefing.
Hey, right on cue.
Full up war, visibility good, with clear skies. Pictures available on request. Lowdown, South SA2 active, North SA15 active.
That is something I can work with. I mean, four F-16s, 8 harms, that should be more than enough to shut those down. Once those harms are off the rails, though, all I got left is a gun. Strafing the launchers is always fun, but at night, I don't know if that's a great plan. In a hog, I would. I guess you can kind of read the dials. Yeah, I suppose that's visible. What if you turn this down? What if you turn the brightness down? Can you read it better? No, not really. we go. That's the dial right there. Just hiding behind that eyebrow. Alright. That should help. Still not legible, but whatever. And those flankers have gone silent too. Makes me a little concerned because probably they're probably doing that sneaky Russian thing, hiding behind the they're probably terrain masking, waiting to zoom climb up and shoot us in the ass as we fly over. That's what I would do. I can have a glass of wine for you. Also, they frown upon drinking and flying airplanes. At the same, well, yeah. There have been a few videos I've made where I say something like, "Don't drink and fly, kids," because that's exactly what I'm doing, and I'm like, yeah, it's usually after crashing into something. Kind of on the funnier side of things, my late father was on a shooting team. Did pretty well, and you know, I went out and watched him shoot a couple times, and you know, they do alcohol tests randomly on people, and I'm like, man, they take this safety stuff real seriously. And he's like, no, don't get it all twisted up. I'm like, what are you talking about? He didn't say twisted up, but he said, you know, it's not about safety. It's actually what guys will do is they'll drink one, maybe two drinks, and it takes that twitch out. And it actually is a way to cheat. It increases your accuracy because it takes that little flinch out, and your score goes up. Now, past that inflection points. Oh, you're a Counter-Strike guy. You would know, right? Like if you play something super twitchy like that, play Counter-Strike. Have one drink, maybe two, and watch how much better you play. It just takes that little, that split second twitch. It shuts that down and or numbs it a little bit. So instead of like flinching then reacting, you just like react because you're just like, yeah, whatever, boom, 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 and you start clicking. And yeah, it's a thing. So you know, but flying though, that's going to be a no-go because you have aeromedical factors. Yeah. Have one drink on an airliner next time. Hopefully we've done that because it's fun. And it's like, whoa, I just became a cheap drunk. Cheap dates. Alright. And what I need to do is lower my scan altitude. And they're off this way, so I can drop that. Get a better shot at picking them up. Yeah, ain't that some shit. Ah, there we go. And to me, it looked like they were posted up right over that SAM site. Yeah, okay, this is gonna get interesting. That's what wingmen are for. I'll probably have this second element take on the flankers, and I will shoot the harms. Once those are off, we'll switch roles. They can have them attack the harms if we haven't. Them attack the SAM site if our harms miss, and I will pick up whatever bandits are left. Meanwhile, forward flight over here to our 3 o'clock will hopefully have come in and started slinging AMRAAMs in the correct direction. Who is this? Oh, you... Here comes Ford. There was definitely somebody over here. They probably turned their beam. Well, I'm going to let Ford handle that. I'm going to continue. Let's see what pops up. Waypoint 8. Do we get a good pod solution on that? Let's see. That looks like the same radar to me. It's not a good point track, but it's something. Is that an SA-15, perhaps? Just a guess. He's not lit up. Alright, this is making me nervous. We know they're out there, they're just flying, they're just going all dark and shit. So, if there are some sneaky bastards out there, I'll try to pull them in front of the fighter sweep. Fly in front of those dudes and not directly at the SAM site. If I had a... There we go. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not seeing him on the HAD here. Is he too far away, maybe? No. I know I turned on my HTS. What's going on? Well, let's turn through him. Put him on our 2 o'clock or so. Oh, he's actually close. Magnum.
All players,
That
Dark
looks good.
Star, pop-up threat, HQ7 active, bullseye, 195 for 9.
That's right, dude. Lock me up. Try it. Wait, what?
Warning.
Apparently I got hit by something. What's going on here? I can't tell if this is a glitch or if I'm dead or what. Did I break my plane? What the hell happened? Ain't that some shit? What happened? Well, I hit the SA-15 and then landed. I probably just got too low and alright, you know what? I ain't gonna leave it like that. We get to do that again. Apologies. You know what I probably did was just I got real low. Had my head buried in the MFDs, and then you know, so when I go for my pilot license, I want you to remember this, and whoever ends up being my instructor, be sure to send them this video to, you know, so they're confident that they are dealing with a responsible individual. All right, let's see. I'll have to watch the TAC view on that one to see what actually happened. But what I'm guessing is I probably skidded across a mountaintop or something like that. All right. I'm trying to get the chat window open to catch up on that. Give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. Didn't pay my subscription. Son of a bitch. Yeah, full analog control in the fly-by-wire jets. Okay, well, this is a learning process. Yeah, alright. Yeah, I can't believe I did that shit. No, I totally believe I did that shit. Yeah. Alright, Track IR. You gotta be kidding me. Something's gotta go right today. There we go, that's better. Ah. Ah, damn, that was embarrassing. Well, why is this on? There we go. On the seats. You're good. You're good. So I think I shot at the SA-15, and then the HQ-7 I think was what was spewing goo up at us. Where you at, buddy? There you are. It's always a little deflating to get that far into a mission and then freaking do some stupid shit. Anyway, let's turn on our harms.
Dodge 1, airborne.
All right, looking good. I'm sure I sound really convincing. Very confident, right? Let's see. What are we at? 2997. Good enough. We aligned yet? Almost. Go to channel 4. Okay, we're good on that. Go over here to nav. Turn, come on, channel 4. Alright, once more into the breach of common decency. God. You know, I was concerned about flying into terrain when I was on the way out. I'm like, hey, it's pretty black out here. Once I start dodging SAMs and get my head down in there, you know, lose my SA, start to, you know, running the risk of crashing into something, and I think that's what happened. It's pretty damn black out. Like, this'll be my my Halloween special, guys. But to me, every day is Halloween. Lots of highly skilled pilots have ended their careers with a CFIT. Yeah, which if those guys do it, there ain't no chance in hell I'm gonna survive this. You know, it's just, yeah, it's sad stuff. Reason for auto GCAS. Yeah, you know what? That would have saved my ass just now.
Tusk 1, airborne.
Good points. There's a interesting. I think the Fighter Pilot Podcast guys did an episode on that. I don't know if it was about auto GCAS in particular, but it was about that kind of stuff, and about how pilots were real hesitant to give control over the, you know, to give up control of their machine until that happened, until I actually saved a guy. no, it's common. Current blocks, I'll have it. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, a big part of AutoGCast is it does not interfere unless you're trying to lawn dart. Yeah, well, you know, that I'm glad you said that, because now I can say, you know, I was just, you know, testing the features of DCS to see if AutoGCast had been implemented yet, you know? That's what I was doing. It was definitely on purpose. I'm just putting my reputation out there. You know, my loss is everyone else's gain. Now you know. Now everybody knows AutoGCast is not modeled in DCS F-16. You're welcome. Community service. You know, I actually got one of my supervisors at work. We got into kind of a heated argument about a similar thing. If they implemented AutoGCast at DCS, they'd probably have to cheat the physics engine a lot. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a complex set of calculations with a very accurate internal flight model. Or you could just, you know, waltz into Lockheed Martin and be like, hey guys, mind if I, can I just, I got a thumb drive, would you mind just throwing it on there for me? We cool? It works like that, right? Just email it to me so I can put the AutoGCast mod into DCS. My thought was AFRL, is that the company that did it? I haven't kept up with it. I mean, to me, when I think F-16, I'm old enough to think General Dynamics. Air Force Research Labs. Okay. Ah, yeah, of course. Yeah, that makes sense. So it was done in-house in the Air Force. I did not know. I would have thought it was going to be Lockheed Martin or somebody. No shit. Thanks for correcting me. Oh, cool. So you know people who involved in that? That's freaking awesome. Program pays for itself in the first airframe saved. Yeah, damn right.
Colt 1, Nels departure. Clear tactical. Contact Dark Star. UHF, channel 16.
Not to mention the life, you know.
Dark Star Colt 1 as fragged. Request Sally corridor via Dream.
Colt 1, Dark Star, radar contact. Cleared Sally corridor via Dream. Shell tanker is available. UHF channel 14. TACAN 83 Yankee. Arco tanker available. UHF channel 15. TACAN 94 Yankee. Picture is available on request. Lowdown. South SA2 active. North SA15 active.
Springfield 1, airborne.
Yeah, think about it. So you think about it too, like if professionals who do this full time still make, you know, self-ending mistakes, just think, extrapolate this out, and this is I don't know where you guys all stand on this. I don't know how many people are watching, but I think a driver's license should be more of a privilege than a right. Right now it's not practical. It's a hard sell to get people to give up their, you know, control over their own vehicles. But when you look at the stats, the decisions people make and the skills that they clearly do not have when you're on the road, it's like, you know, more lives would be saved if self-driving cars were the default. Like, that's what you get until you can prove that you can actually fucking drive a vehicle and not be a danger to everyone. Rule number one should be also be driving the car. Damn right, right? See, yeah, and people are like, oh, my independence. It's like, well, don't worry about it. You still get to go wherever you want. In fact, you have more independence, I would say, because to me, if I could sleep in my morning commute, oh my God, what a great thing that would be. Or just, you know, do some studying or read or bring the Switch, play some Smash, you know, whatever. You know, time spent driving, as much as I love driving, like, it's kind of it's not productive, you know, you could be doing something else. You know, like sleeping. Or, say you're out, get smashed, doesn't matter, hop in the car, it's going to take you home, you know what I mean? And think of all the people who are impaired, one way or the other. And I'm talking about cognitive decline with age, physical decline. As you age, you want to keep your autonomy. And that's why I think, I live in Florida, right? So it's got a reputation, especially in South Florida. Insurance is higher there for a reason. Like, people do decline over time, and they do not acknowledge that. And that's a kind of a touchy subject. But if they could keep their autonomy, just like hop in the car and say, hey, you know, take me to Target or whatever, they still have full autonomy to go wherever the hell they want, whenever they want. And it's like a win-win to me. But people are afraid of it, and I can understand that. Public transport is also underdeveloped. Damn right. People see a car are necessary to freedom. I enjoy driving. Ooh, S2000. Nice. Commuting in the beater every day sucks. I'd rather take a train. Yeah. But, like, if you're driving an S2000 or anything like that, right? You're one of those people that just loves driving, which means your skill level is going to be higher generally. Like, you know what the fuck you're doing. That's not the general population. So, you know, I don't want to take people's autonomy. I'd rather give more people more autonomy. It's just when you see how people drive. In fact, if they're driving at all, most of the time they got their phone. And whether it's legal or not, it's just so damn common. Like, if you look at traffic lethalities going up through the roof lately because people are on their fucking phones or doing touchscreen shit. Kind of like what I just did in the airplane. I had my head down. I was fucking around down here, switch, you know, trying to shoot this thing, bouncing, ping, pong, ping, and then boom, I crash into something, right? Yeah, I got back from Tail of the Dragon trip recently. The S2000 is almost spiritual experience there. Oh, are you shitting me? You lucky bastard. No, good. That's awesome. Watching TikTok on the F-16 MFDs, yeah. I mean, you got to keep up with those socials. I understand. Maybe someone from Europe can chime in here. But I think most countries in the EU actually, when they do a driving test, it's a freaking driving test. Like, it's like, okay, well, here's a threat, dodge it. Don't screw it up. Can you drive on a wet road? If a moose jumps out in front of you, what do? You know, like, they actually teach you how to handle emergencies and stuff like that. One of my friends in college was from Poland, and she could drive better than anybody I knew at the time. She was just, and she's like, oh no, you just do this, this, and this. Like, don't you guys do that? Don't you guys learn that in your driving test? And we're like, no. The moose test, yeah. It's, Moose are freaking extremely dangerous. And they're massive. Like, they're kind of terrifying. They look cute and cuddly, but damn. They'll fuck you up. And kind of like, as cars hit them, if it's a low car, you know, you hit them in the legs, and then the body of the moose goes up over the hood or flips up onto through the windshield or whatever. A 1/5 scale moose would be a good pet. Yeah. Get call InGen and see if they can rig that up for you. Spare no expense. Actually, that reminds me of the old commercial with the opulence. The Russian mafia guy who's got the baby giraffe. This 2000 can maybe go under the moose between the legs. Yeah, if you're good, you might be able to swerve. I guess the closest I've driven to that is a Miata. And the Pontiac Solstice. Different things, but say the most fun car I've ever driven is my cousin's Corvette, which the instant I sat down, I started smiling and it didn't stop until I got out of the car. I'm still smiling from it. DCS guys who fly through the road tunnel. Yeah, I was down there to the Blue Ridge. That sounds awesome. Cool to have that opportunity. You know, it really makes me happy when people who really appreciate an opportunity and an experience like that get to do it. Like, that's just good. It makes me smile. Good stuff. You gotta stop by Buc-ee's. It's compulsory. Did you get any of the jerky? And once again, we are ahead of schedule on the flights. Oh yeah, like jerky is a requirement on any road. Like jerky and you gotta get the trifecta: jerky, Mountain Dew, and Pringles. Back to 5. Yeah, there's I think there may be something to this where if you trick your brain, you can eat less by throwing a bunch of like overloaded flavors at it. You do like salty shit like Pringles, jerky, and it's got your protein there, and then add the sweet Mountain Dew or whatever soda you want. You can, if you add those together, if you can't get a good meal, it can kind of like on a road trip trick you into thinking you've eaten something better than you just had. Your mileage may vary. wonder if it's viable to keep my eyes down below the NVG field here. That might be doable. Maybe a little safer that way. I'll give it a try. I can't see my HUD though. Okay, that's a point of view problem. Oh, excuse me. Throw it back a bit, save some gas while I'm doing this orbit shit. Do the fence check early, not because I'm thorough, but because I know I'm going to forget something and want to catch it. Let's see. Damn, sorry about this. There we go. Two, lights off, master arm on. IFF, good. Switch to 16 on comm. Master, laser. Air-to-air mode, targeting pod, white hot. Air-ground mode, targeting pod, white hot. FCR. Add. Power on, yeah, looks good. I assume the tables are going to be fine on that. Gas in the bags. 1, 2, jammer. Okay, good. Alright. I think everything's good to go. This is really cool. I haven't really used it much, but it's cool as shit. Now, I'm gonna go on a tangent here. A lot of the stuff we see in the F-16 we kind of take for granted is this like super awesome, well-deserved reputation as a multi-role fighter. If you rewind time, you see any good fish to catch on that display. Let's see. DCS. Let's say if Groom Lake is over here somewhere.
All players, Dark Star, pre-push briefing. Full up war, visibility good with clear skies. Picture is available on request. Lowdown, South SA2 active, North SA15 active.
Does look like a fish finder, doesn't it? I was gonna make a joke about Stardew Valley and the sandfish, but I don't know if I want to cross those wires. This is desert wampa territory. I was gonna talk about the F-20 Tiger Shark. It's got to be my favorite plane that never made it. For 2/3 the cost of the F-16 in the mid 80s, the F-20 had stuff that the F-16 didn't at the time, like ground search radar. It was wired up for the AMRAAMs. I can go on about this for too long. Maverick missile capability, harpoons, gun pods, ground search radar, so it made me think of it. A ton of other stuff, and the F-16 at that time did not have any of it. It didn't even have Sparrows. But Northrop, yeah, that's a whole thing. But if I could magic wand one aircraft into DCS right now, if I had the money to hire the talent to do it, I would bring the F-20 Tiger Shark to DCS, because, and if anyone doesn't agree with me, they're wrong, and I hate them. And I can fix that, though. We can come to an agreement by you going on YouTube and typing F-20 Tiger Shark Chuck Yeager and watching that promotional video by Northrop, translated from VHS. It even has that little cool VHS like that, you know, tape delay. And Chuck Yeager said it was the best plane he ever flew. And I mean, I don't know. That dude tested freaking everything from the P-39 all the way on up to like the hottest new shit in the 80s, and he said that the F-20 was the best. F-20 had a lot of ground attack capability, much more than multi-role. Yeah, 5G, because it's the F and G. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, yeah, they lost out to the F-16, obviously. And I don't know, in retrospect, would it have been better to buy the F-20? I don't know. The F-20 also, definitely, instead of, I don't know. Hard to say. But if you watch that video, I mean, that thing is just freaking... If you ever fly the F-5 in DCS and you're like, man, I just wish I had more thrust. Imagine that bitch with like a greater than 1 thrust to weight ratio. And in like F-16 style avionics, like, dude, and a HOTAS, and a HUD, and cool Airwolf looking red LEDs in the dash, like, oh, come on, man. I got a semi just thinking about it. Get the F-20 because 4 more than the F-16. Yeah, and then if I had a second aircraft I could add to DCS, I think it would be the CF-105. Even just sticking less smoky J79 would have been yeah, you know what? That would have been pretty that would have been pretty rad too. Hell yeah. Probably a better range, better T-dubs. They lost the area rule wasp waist on the F5. If you look down the side panels, whatever you call them, the fuselage of the F-20, it's straight, so they don't have that area rule. But I think the power of the 404 was enough to just friggin' muscle through it anyway. And I think it had some kind of not quite fly-by-wire system, maybe something sort of had some kind of digital flight control, but I don't think it was full fly-by-wire. In that, and what else did it have? Laser ring inertial navigation system. So I think that's sort of comparable to what we have in the Mirage 2000, but I'm not sure. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the Hornet. Even the Super Hornet is, you know, it's a direct lineage from the F5 T-38 for sure. And if you get it, you can find the you might be interested. You can, if you haven't already done this. Yeah, exactly. You can find also, if you want to dig into it a little bit, there's the pilot manual for the F-20. Like, you can find a PDF of that. I spent like $5 to get access to it. It's pretty cool. But if you read that, it is almost exactly like an F5 with Hornet, HOTAS, and avionics in it. Like the stick and stuff is, you know, the HOTAS controls are very, very, very similar to the Hornets. It's almost one for one. It's got that thing where you can use the, you know, you can. I don't know if you can do that in this 16. So you can take your Q, your cursor here, and you can slew that and like click on the little the menu items. I don't know if the Hornet has that. I've never used it, but you can in the F-20, or could. It looked pretty snappy. I mean, and again, back then, for 2/3 of the cost of the F-16, you could have bought, you know, 3-2 for, in some ways, more capability. But Northrop was, dude, what the hell? Like, some kind of thing where they got some kind of corruption, bribery thing involving the South Korean government and some other shit. And like Taiwan had an order, and then Reagan canceled that and sold them the 16 instead. Yeah, political. Yes. And who was it in the Mideast? They had an order for like 20 of them, something like that. Was it the UAE or Bahrain? And like they signed on the line. Like they were bought, and then Reagan changed the things. I can't remember exactly. But the F-16 is what everybody got. I think Malaysia was interested too. A lot of countries were interested, but they would only buy it if the U.S. also did. It was like, okay, well, if it's not good enough for the country that made it, we're not buying it. So the Navy was going to buy them and use them, you know, as aggressors, which would have been a bitching aggressor opponent. But order got canceled, and instead they got the F-16N, which, you know, which apparently was like, the F-16N was hot shit. Yeah, the F-16N, if based on what I read, they flew those things so hard, like they kind of wore them out. All right, let's not repeat the mistakes I did last time. Let's stay above. No, I haven't been painted yet. Maybe needed to do an alternate history where the Scotia Tiger 2 is an F-20 squadron. Yo, I mean, I'm down. That sounds like a... Sounds like one of those novels you'd find in Walden books in 1991. Yeah, 130s and B-52s for sure. And we've got company. Alright, I'm gonna drag those guys back into the fighter sweep. That 15 has not lit up yet. Oh yeah, and that C-130 I can't wait for. I may have mentioned this too. When you get the C-130, you get the training missions. Some guy I know pretty well is doing the voice of the player character. I might have mentioned that, probably because I'm like really happy about it. I don't like, it's ridiculous. Like I have no right to be doing that shit. Like, you know, Baltic will come out like, oh yeah, I'm working with Casmo, you know, the guy who actually did the thing, and you know, or Hoser, you know, from Raven 1, you know, the guy who actually did that and wrote the book, bunch of other SMEs, like, you name it. I'm like, how the shit do I end up anywhere near that kind of project? I have no business in that room. None. But until they kick me out, I'll keep doing it. I'm just waiting for somebody to discover I just don't deserve to be there. I'm sure that's going to happen at some point, but meanwhile, you get to hear more of me if you get the C-130. Yeah, this is definitely a swing roll situation. They're on the other side of that SAM. I could and fly out to the left of that SAM ring. Turn in to attack it. And so you need to go full ace combat, have supersized galaxy that is an airborne carrier that launches F-20s. Yes. And those F-20s, each for armament, are carrying pylons with ME-163s underneath them. Piloted by condemned criminals. See, if I had a Maverick, I could hit this guy now. Or an LGB, or really anything except a harm. I need some emissions here. Yeah, it is. Punitive Sweat, yes. I accidentally ripped off Ace Combat 7. Son of a bitch. Here, I thought I was being clever. Stick with trigger and you'll be okay. But I don't know, if it was like, yo, we can give you lethal injection, or you can fly until you die in an ME-163. I think I might consider option 1, because of how nasty that fuel is. There we go, that's what I'm talking about. Alright, stand by, I gotta shut up for a second. There we go.
All players, Dark Star, pop-up threat, HQ7 active. Bullseye, 195 for 9.
Magnum. Got him. That was easy. Okay, cool. Already doing better. I mean, I'm not dead yet.
All players, Dark Star, North SA-15 destroyed.
You're welcome. 63 with a additional radio welded on. Yeah, but they're gonna store the fuel for that under your armpits in the cockpit. That's what I'm thinking. If you haven't yet watched it, the Greg's Airplanes and Automobiles video on the 163. I think I may have talked about that in the past. That shit is crazy. Like, you already know it's crazy. You know that thing is crazy. But, like, the reality was even crazier than that. C-Stoff and T-Stoff. And, both of them, you mix them together. And, like, that whole refueling process was, like, batshit crazy. And where do you think they kept the fuel? In the wings and the rear fuselage? Nope. In the cockpit. By the pilot. And the one or both of those fuels has the fun trait of dissolving human flesh. So, if you're flying in combat and you get a leak, or anything goes wrong, you face the real possibility of the fuel from your aircraft leaking all over you and dissolving yourself. So, that's cool. For a while, they played with the idea of a rocket plane. You crash into the bombers and you bail out just before. Yeah, damn, yep, I think I remember reading about that too. I think they experimented with that with like a heavily armored Focke-Wulf 190 with that idea too. Like strengthened wings, there was a ramp. They were intended to ram the bombers. But I know what you're talking about. It was a rocket plane. It's like they would aim it and then jump out right before it hit, kind of like G.I. Joe style. And yeah, that's some craziness. You can't take away from they were fielding some crazy ideas. I think I want to take that site out. Just want to get it to light up. Let's get in SAM range. So we're going to deal with that and then some flankers. I should probably not outstrip the fighter sweep. Ooh, that looks good. Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Colt 1, Dark Star, Trespass, HQ7, Bullseye, 195 for 9.
Oh, really? Well, that sounds fun too. But this guy really needs to get shot. Let's see. Come on, lock up. Looks like a bandit to me. Yep. Good old targeting pod. 20 miles. There's two of them. Only one on radar though. Probably bunched up too close together. SA2. Well, let's do this. Second element.
3. Engage bandits. 3. Unable.
Don't give me that. Don't make excuses, 3. For a while they played with the idea. Okay, sorry. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like they don't want to play. And it looks like forward flight's on to them. I may turn into that SA2 and do my job. Get rid of that harm, and then, what else we got? Who's knocking on the... Oh, flanker's flanking. Okay. Change of plan.
Counter.
Oh, really? You know what? I got something for this. Magnum, and off.
Chat. Flare. Caution. Caution. Counter.
Might be quiet for a second.
Chat. Flare. Counter.
Oh shit.
161. Good flight. Engage air defenses.
You know, that's what we're here for.
Counter.
Lost my SA. Alright, what are we at? Oh shit.
Chat. Flare.
Well, why don't you do something about that, buddy?
Counter. Low.
Well, I hit my target.
Chat. Flare.
Dump those bags.
All players, Dark Star, South SA2 destroyed.
Alright, get a Magnum off, guys. This guy is really pissing me off. Hell no. Well, whew. Oh, for God's sake. There's more? My SA's in the shitter. What do we got? Flanker. Alright. See. Somebody having a bad day up there? Okay, that was some intense shit. What am I at? 7,500 AGL. Take a breath. Get some SA here. Alright. Remember, the high ground is the highest scoring ace. 0 losses. Yeah, so... I think we're clear now. Let's do this.
Dark Star 1-1. Colt 1. Request picture. Tusk 1. Kill armor at bullseye 161.
Picture clean. Who are you?
Tusk 1. Kill armor at bulls 161 for 13.
I don't trust it. I mean, I could fly it through waypoint 9. I don't think I've ever flipped back and forth between air to air and air to ground so many times in such a short time span. That was fairly intense. How much gas do I have? Oh fuck. Okay. Yeah. That's. I was like, oh shit, I'm on fumes. No, that was just my bags, which I pumped off. I think that's it. I think we're. So I took out 2 SAM sites. Wingmen took out the pop-ups or whatever you want to call it.
Tusk 1. In from the northeast. Engaging armor at bullseye 1.
Oh yeah, that's looking good. Little bitch. There are some launchers. I would love to strafe those, but that's tempting fate. I think I'm just gonna pass those up. Yeah, strafing that low with just night vision. That's just asking to spoil a perfectly good mission. Matter of fact, I think I'm just gonna cycle back through waypoint 10. Call it good. Hey, we're not dead.
Dark Star 1-1. Colt 1. Request picture. Colt 1. Dark Star 1-1. Picture single group at bullseye 2D8 for 27 at 21,000.
Oh, really? How much gas do we have? Oh, it is on. It is on. Hang on. Famous last words. It's my HSD. There they are out there. Oh, yes.
Dodge 1. In from the east. Engaging armor at bullseye 1.
I would be irresponsible to leave those probably MiG-21s
Dodge 1. In from the east.
to attack the tender,
Bullseye 142 for 10.
delicious rear quarters of those A-10s.
Colt 1, Dark Star, Trespass, HQ 7, Bullseye 195 for 9.
Oh, really? See, that's good to know too.
Dodge 1. In from the east. Engaging utility at bullseye 142 for 10.
Let's go for some glory here.
Dodge 1. In
What could
from
go
the
wrong?
east. Engaging bunker at bulls 142 for 10. Dodge 1. In from the east. Engaging armor at bullseye 142 for 10.
Yeah, it's a kind of a rear quarter, kind of a
In from the east. Engaging bunker at bullseye 142
slight
for
tail
10.
chase here, so the ballistics aren't so as good as I'd prefer them to
Dodge
be.
1. In from the east. Engaging artillery at bulls 152 for 10.
Rear quarter shot.
Dodge 1.
And there's friendlies heading in on them too. I don't want to shoot those dudes. Yeah, there's F-15s. They're already all over it.
In from the northeast.
They gotta be ruining my... Man.
161 for 12. Dodge 1. Kill armor at bulls
Closure
142
260.
for 10.
We can do better.
Dodge 1. Kill utility at bullseye 142 for 10. Dodge 1. Kill armor at bullseye 142.
Yeah, they're probably shitting their pants in those MiGs right now.
Dodge 1. Kill bunker at bullseye 142 for 10.
Look, yeah, they're running the other way.
Dodge 1. Kill
Oh,
bunker
you're just
at
gonna die
bullseye
tired, motherfucker.
142 for 10. 4-1. Splash bandit at bulls 360 at 420 at 30,000.
Damn it! Well, he's getting shot at.
Dodge 1. Kill artillery at bullseye 152 for 10.
Yeah, it's a flanker for sure. Okay, well. He's flying like a bitch.
4-1.
Oh.
4-2 423
He did. Damn it.
Dark Star 1-1. Colt 1. Request picture. Colt 1. Dark Star 1-1. Clean.
Got all dressed up for nothing. Alright. Well, let's head on back. There was that trespass HQ7. If I can ferret that thing out, I'll stick my wingman on him. Or, I don't know, I'm not beyond strafing it at this point. I'm kind of frustrated. I wanted to get some shots on those flankers. F-16's taking all my fun. Fun mission, that's for damn sure. It's a lot more fun when you don't crash into the ground.
Flight. Join up.
I think they already are, but just in case. Let's pull back the power a little bit, save some fuel. Really hoping that HQ7 peeks up at us because I want to get my wingman to throw some harms at him. Put him in harm's way to overuse that joke. So I haven't really, this is the first mission I've tried using the targeting pod in air-to-air mode. That's really freaking handy. And I will say this campaign is doing its job. Like, I suck way less at F-16 now than I did when I started. Like that first mission is just, that was just flying and dropping an LGB on something. Super easy, right? But like I screwed it up and got a lot better at this. It's amazing that you get better at things by doing those things. Like, who knew? Somebody should tell people about that. People have to know. lessons learned here. I think I need to bind emergency jettison maybe to the HOTAS, or and also this storage config fly-by-wire toggle, at least to my one of my controllers here. Or have I already? 10 elevation here. That's gonna do it right there. Okay. What's that gonna be under? Flicks. There we go. Okay. There's my SciTech little guy over here. That'll help. It works. Great. That's a little better. It was a little chaotic when those SAMs started flying up, that's for damn sure. So I'm dodging, I'm sitting there dropping countermeasures. I don't know what direction they're
All
coming
players,
from.
Dark Star. All strikers have egressed.
Alright, good mission. You know, I'm like, well, I'll just fly a spiral pattern, you know, do some climates dives, whatever, and try and bleed the missiles out of energy. Hopefully I'm at their, close to their R max. And I'm thinking, well, I'm doing this, though my, that's a perfect chance for my flight to go and start chucking some harms at them, which is exactly what happened. Kind of went as it was supposed to. So that was cool. My shot at the SA-15 worked, my shot at the SA-2 worked, everything worked. My pod worked, I think. Countermeasures worked. My flight's harm shots were legit. They hit what they needed to. My long shot at the SA-2 worked. That was his mistake too. That was a classic freaking, you know, SA-2 engagement. It's like, oh, he locked me up? Okay, well, I'm going to chuck my harm at him and play chicken with the missile while my missile rides in on him and he's trying to track me and poop, got him. Oops! His fault for opening his eyeballs up. Should have stayed asleep. Yeah, the SA-15 I expected to shoot at me, but that SA-2, like, what a dumbass. He's just lucky I can't see very well, or I'd have strafed every launcher on that array. You're lucky the darkness has held me back, bro. You're totally lucky. Because I would totally kick your ass if it wasn't dark out, you know. I mean, I would. You saw my last mission, I was strafing freaking everything. If you saw my last mission, I was strafing everything. I got no credit for it because the way this mission is made, those are static objects and do not count as kills. They're what do you call it? Scenery things.
Dark Star 1-1, Colt 1, request picture. Colt 1, Dark Star 1-1, clean.
Nobody wants to play with me.
Dark Star Colt 1 in-flight report. Mission successful.
Colt 1, Dark Star, copy. You're cleared RTB.
Yeah, back to nav mode then. How's everybody doing? Still with me on this adventure? Where's my flight? Are they dragging back there? What are you printing? What you working on? Oh, excuse me. There will be no. I don't think there's going to be an encore mission after this one. Should we get 2 more plates started tonight while I sleep? I want to get my printer fixed. I'm gonna do some time compression here. This is gonna be a long flight back if I don't. Commission human artist, commission art of one of my characters, and I'm now 3-2. Hey, that's really cool. Neat. And you know, that is what a time to live. Like, as much as we can justifiably.
Engaging bandit at bullseye 102 for 100 at 12,000.
Damn it. As much as we can complain about things, it is very, very cool, some of the tech we have. Like, a 3D printer still blows my mind. Like, can you imagine, go back and tell your kid's self that, yeah, you know that character that you're imagining for your role-playing game? Yeah, you're going to get an artist to sculpt a 3D model of that in a computer, and then you can print off as many copies as you want at any size, up to the limit of that printer. You know, pretty damn cool. And look what we're doing right now. Streaming live DCS, talking to people from around the world. I mean, it's just, I'm old enough to think that's really fucking cool. Confusing mix of amazing and awful. Yeah, right? Right, yeah, that's exactly why I'm doing this right now. And no, thanks for hopping in on the stream again. Always a pleasure. Yeah, I mean, you're dead on. You got to take what you can get. Doesn't do the world any good if you're if the negative vibes get you too badly. You got to be aware of them to some extent, but you also got to take care of yourself. Days public broadcast television, some guy brought Micropose Strike Eagle 2 and played it on analog rabbit ear TV. Although, like, pirate TV, man, over the air broadcasts were like a totally different beast. I kind of miss that sometimes. See the most esoteric stuff on public access. Oh yeah, God. And you know what drives me nuts about that? Like, is it happened once and that was it? Like, there's no.
Engaging bandit at bulls 109 for 90 at 28,000.
have to head back that way and tear up those MiGs, but there's no way to get there in time.
Springfield 1, engaging bandit at Bulls 110 for 90.
Yeah, public access. Like, Wayne's World wasn't an exaggeration. Like, that was the weirdest shit you could there's still some YouTube footage of it. Like, you know, somebody will have like a old VHS. They happen to record it or whatever. Yeah, at like 4 a.m. on the local OTA station, TV 43 or whatever the hell it was. And there's some of it on YouTube, but the vast majority of all those broadcasts are just lost, completely lost media.
Springfield 1, engaging bandit at Bullseye
YouTube is at its best when
111
bringing the
for
modern
80
equivalent
at
of public access
12,000.
TV is trying to be the replacement for it. Yeah, exactly. And look what we're doing now. And you can actually talk to your audience, which is like fucking rad. All the good and the bad that comes with that too. Yeah, I mean I think you're correct about that. Most of the video I'm watching is YouTube lately.
Springfield 1, engaging bandit at Bullseye 111 for 80 at 16,000.
Like I mentioned it.
Springfield 1, engaging bandit at Bullseye 110 for 80 at 17,000.
What's super cool is you can teach yourself almost anything, especially academics, with YouTube, especially with schools like MIT, Yale, a bunch of other universities just giving away their lectures for free, which I'm taking advantage of now.
Splash bandit at Bullseye 069 for
And
at 27,000.
it's done me a ton of good. You wouldn't tell right now, but this is the end of the day. I'm just winding down, but
Pontiac is RTB at 5,000.
it's really helping dust off some cobwebs. Doing math again is a ton of fun, especially when you don't have to worry about deadlines or grades. It's actually really cool. Feels good to watch YouTube videos and do a repair that would have cost a good amount of money. Yeah, hell yes. That's become my SOP for broken anything.
071 at 22,000.
Even if it's like a brake job or something like that, it's like, oh, I've changed brakes I don't know how many times. How hard can it be? Well, there's always that chance that one car has some weird ass, stupid captive rotor system or whatever. It's good to know before you get there.
07547 at 20,000.
I know Kung Fu and Morpheus is like, show me. Stop trying to hit me and hit me. Yes. I do not recommend learning martial arts on YouTube, however. I mean, if you need to memorize a form or something, that's one thing, but...
Bullseye 081 413 at 22,000.
Rusted stuck slide. Oh, dude, oh. I'm getting triggered just... I'm getting triggered just reading that shit. Ugh. And some of that stuff is so... I mean... I don't think any consideration in cars is given anymore to at-home maintenance. I mean, we've known that for a while, but I would love to have a magic wand car company where it's built to be worked on by the user, and it comes with a toolkit. Just a simple, let's say, metric ratchet set and some extras. Comes with everything you need, with modular parts and panels, and everything's easy to get to, and only one item deep. You don't have to pull off parts to get to other parts. You know, like the F5 of a car. You know, if the last idiot didn't grease them, you're basically yup. And then there's like no amount of PB blaster in the world. You gotta like, what are you gonna do? Just like drill it? Like, what? I don't know. I've always been able to break mine free, but it hasn't always been easy. Ugh. In an earlier life, I had a '68 Mustang. And what a pleasure to work on that. No, it was frustrating. It was, but
One. Showtime. You're dead.
what it was only frustrating because it was a Ford and they would change parts, like major ones in the middle of a model year, like going from the 5-bolt to the 6-bolt bell housing and transmission. Ooh, why would you do that? But anyway, once you knew what you had, it was actually pretty pleasant to work on. You could reach everything. You could put a ratchet on anything you needed. When you took the radiator out, you could actually stand, stand straight down, feet all the way down to the floor in the engine compartment. You know, it was made for actual humans to work on. It's silly how the F5, you can drop its engines for service way faster than you could drop the engine out of a Corolla. It's well, it makes sense. Think about when the F5 was designed. Was it late 50s, early 60s, right? When it was blueprinted or whatever. Wrong word, but conceptualized. It was built with maintenance and simplicity in mind. Corolla is not even supersonic. Well, maybe yours isn't. Nothing a Rato Pat can't fix. I may get suddenly quiet when I realize night landings are terrifying. Alright. This is where the night vision's going to come in handy.
Colt 1, Dark Star, push NATSIF, UHF Channel 4.
Not that they listen anyway.
Springfield 1, engaging bandit at Bulls 1. Colt 1, inbound. Colt 1, fly heading 203, Fort 9. QFE 28.05. Runway 21 to pattern altitude.
28.05. I don't even think it goes that low. Nope. Am I landing on runway right or left? Yeah, I'm just picking right. Screw it. Yeah, product of the times, I guess. I mean, if you compared contemporaries of the F5 even up through the 70s, maybe even the 80s. Shit, I think even the F20 would be easier to work on than, let's say, 2010 Mustang GT. Just guessing.
Altitude.
Yeah, and when I got real ambitious for a few weeks, I started sketching out a design for a car. Simple as possible. Nothing performance minded about it. It just had to work, travel up through 80 miles per hour, be as efficient as possible, and as easy to work on as possible. Basically, like to me, the economy and the culture is just totally ripe for the new like VW Bug equivalent. A new car that everybody could afford, that even non-mechanical people are comfortable working on. Something that just is a car that gets you where you're going, and you know, is safe to drive, obviously. But you know, just something stripped down that's just a car, and like, how cool would that be?
Warning, 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 warning.
Not just a set. Yeah. I mean, I don't like how cars are engineered now. I know they last a long time. They're efficient. They're quite safe as long as you hit something crash compatible. But they seem, in some, like, some of the engineering is just stupid. Like, how much space inside your car is taken up by like trim parts? Like, it doesn't really do anything but take up space. Just I can go on about that some other time, I think, but you know, new cars are beyond the reach of like almost everybody now. Like, it's just stupid. But back when they made the Bug, like, almost everybody could afford that. That was Volkswagen, the people's car. There's no such thing anymore. Volkswagens are stupid expensive. You know, there's no. Did I just not fuck up an F-16 landing? It wasn't pretty, but. Oh, the trim? Yeah, that does make sense. Yep. Around altitude support build quality. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's I mean, I'll bitch about this all day, and it's good to have somebody around to call you out when you're ranting about something that's not quite accurate. So thanks. I know a lot of that's due to regulation and stuff like that. You have emission control, you have safety standards and stuff like that, so I do get that. I don't think engineers are sitting around, you know, trying to screw everybody over or anything like that. The screwing over comes from not the engineers, but the people looking at bottom lines. Can you imagine a new car? One that didn't suck, one that you could actually trust, that sold for under $10,000. It's got to be possible. Actually, most accountants I know, the ones that I have met, they start out, you know, being super into it, and then at some point in their careers, they become, once they realize how the systems works and how it can be corrupted so badly, they become like anti-capitalist. They're like, fuck this shit. Like, it's so corrupt, I can't get behind this anymore. I mean, there's some dirty accountants, but most of them are pretty good to go from what I can tell. And they see how people get away with nonsense, and they're like, this is fucked. I can't believe the system's like this. Non-zero number of no survivor commercial airliner accidents have been caused by accountants. That does track. The ones I have had the good fortune to meet have all been pretty awesome, however. Pretty good ethics when you get down to it. But those are like my friends, you know. I'm not going to hang out with the schemers. They're too rich to hang out with me anyway. I think I may have taxied to the wrong side of the field. It's cool. I'll go park by the C-17 here. It's like law, everyone comes in idealistic, and when they get disillusioned, they fall for. Yes, yep. And at that point, they can go one way or the other, right? They can become disillusioned and either fight the good fight or pursue another career, or just say, like, fuck it, I'm going to the dark side. If they're going to make the money, I will too. Probably in politics too, I would guess. And that's why, in some part, enshittification is a thing. Totally in the wrong side of the base, but... Let's go say hi to this C-17. It's always a C-17. Law school debt tends to be a lot, so I must stick with it and hope they meet a partner because they can... Yeah, yep. You see that kind of like... That might be a universal constant, man. People starting out being idealistic and doing the work to get where they are, and then... You see it in medicine, too. Don't get me started on big pharma and all that shit, insurance, etc., etc. But a lot of medical practitioners are really frustrated, just want to do the right thing, and they're getting undermined left and right by for-profit shit. And that's a different thing too. Medicine is fundamentally different, I would say, because you can't like you know, you can't opt out of that market. If you're sick, you're sick. It's not like you can choose not to play. You know, you can't choose not to be sick and just not get healthcare. You need that. So like, yeah, I don't know. It's a different the market forces are just different. And boy, did I screw this up. Anyway, I'll talk about that probably some other time. And that gets pretty heated too. I don't want to piss anybody off today, anyway. But you know, technically, if you don't want to buy a car, you might be able to get away with it depending where you live. But if you have something serious, a serious illness, like the only option being like die from it is not really a good option to me. Yeah, there's that I was looking at, and the cost is literally $17.50 per 1 milliliter dose each month, right? Yeah, you know, so that's you know what? That may be a good topic for another stream. Don't get me started on that one. And it's like, oh yeah, you can spend $17,000, $18,000 per month or die. Like, you're just gonna, it's fucking ridiculous, man. 2 air defenses, and that's all I got credit for. That's all I shot at. Okay, that works. Yeah, you can't tell me that system's working. If it's like, well, you're gonna be in crippling debt, and you know your credit rating's going to shit, and you can't buy a house, and everything goes to hell because you you made the choice to get, I don't know, fucking cancer or something, or whatever it is you happen, not you, but like, you know, people in general. Like, it's like, fuck you for getting sick. Enjoy your terminal debt. And it's like, fuck you. You can't tell me there's no solution for that one. You don't want the luxury dock builders to lose their jobs, right? Oh god. Yeah. I'm gonna have to. I think we're probably on the same page there. Oh, hey. Yeah. Well, you know, that's I'm not gonna get into that, but you know, free speech, free speech. Keep it up. 1A all the way. And I will we'll postpone that one. I gotta get to bed. If I start thinking about this stuff, I'm gonna get so worked up I can't sleep. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. again, always a pleasure. Everybody else who did in chat, thanks for tuning in. It means a lot. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hopefully the stream, I'll keep it going as long as 0 people show up. I don't care. I'll keep doing it. Whatever. Anyway, thanks guys. Hope it wasn't too boring, and I will talk to you soon.